Pythagorean triples. The given lengths are two sides of a right triangle. All three side lengths of the triangle are integers and together form a Pythagorean triple. Find the length of the third side and tell whether it is a leg or hypotenuse. All right, let's look at number 22, the given side lengths. Now, one side of the triangle is missing. Okay, we can call that X. But the problem is here, we don't know if this is the longest side, in which case this would be C, or if the missing side is the longest side, in which case this would be C. So we don't know which one is C. We have to try it both ways. Okay? Now remember, it said all sides of the triangle are integers, all the side lengths. All right, so if we get a decimal, we know we did it wrong. So I'm going to start out by letting these two equal A and B. And I'm going to let the third side equal C. Okay, so doing the Pythagorean theorem, that's going to be A squared plus B squared equals C squared. All right, we said A is 75, so that's going to be 75 squared. We said B is 85, so that's 85 squared. And we said C is X, so that's X squared. Now you can multiply this out, but I'll just do it in one shot. The square, to get rid of the squared, you take the square root of both sides. So I'm going to take the square root of X squared, and I'm going to take the square root of this mess right here. All right, I'm going to do this on the calculator. Okay, and I had to round off. 113.36. So, they said these are all integers. So, did we do this correct? No. That is the wrong answer. So, now we have to try it again. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to rewrite the numbers 75, 85, and X. 75, 85, and X. And now, instead of X being the value for C, I'm going to let 85 be the value for C. Okay, it can't be 75 because C always has to be the longest. Okay, so since I let 75 and 85 be A and B last time, this time I'm going to let the 85 equal C, and A and B is going to be 75 and X. All right, so we assume this was the longest. That didn't work because it was a decimal. Now I'm going to assume that one is the longest. So now do the same thing again. A squared is 75 squared. B squared is 85 squared. And C squared is, whoops, made a mistake. All right, B squared is X squared. And C squared is 85 squared. Okay, and now we're going to solve for X. The opposite of positive 75 squared is negative 75 squared. I'm going to do that to both sides. Right here it cancels. X squared is this mess right here. Solving for X, the opposite of squaring something is to take the square root. You want to take the square root on both sides. Square root of X squared is X. I'm going to do this on the calculator. And I get X equals 40. So that right there is an integer, and that's the correct answer. All right, the first time it didn't work because we got a decimal. So if it had worked the first time, we wouldn't need to do the second step. All right, so either assume the longer one that's given is B, or assume the longer one that's given is C. All right, and try it both ways.